The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Black Hawk Hauling, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, Wags Food and Culture, Moe's Pizza, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I am your host, JB the Sports Guy. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, VK Jones and George Peppers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were not in Lake Charles this past weekend, you missed one of the best state championship games that they had between Peabody and Madison Prep. The game went in overtime, and the video clip you just saw was how Peabody won the state championship. Joining us is their head coach. He is a 10-time state championship winning coach at Peabody, 9 times as the head coach, the one and only Coach Charles Smith. Coach, how you doing? And thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Doing great and glad to be with you.
Yes, sir. Truly appreciate it. Coach, at the press conference, you said winning never gets old. So what is the feeling like of winning another state championship?
Well, I've been around a long time, and this is, as you said, a part of 10 state championships. But, each one is special because you have a different group of guys. And they, did the things necessary in order for their team to win. So, it kind of chokes you up as a coach knowing that these guys put everything on the line, for you as a head coach and for their school and community. So I feel real good.
Coach, when you guys were down 32-27 going into the fourth quarter, I told my co-host VK Jones, who I was sitting next to on press row, I said, right now Peabody has to get within 2-1 to have a chance to win this game. Talk about that 5-0 run y'all went on at the start of the fourth quarter to tie the game at 32. Because that, to me, that changed the entire momentum and it switched to you guys.
That you're absolutely correct. Throughout the season, we have been a defensive team. Mostly, the team was built on defense because we didn't have the experience on the offensive end of the ball. So what happened was in the fourth quarter, in most of our games we played, we adjusted our defense. We changed to different types of defenses, and the players would always step up, with max energy in the fourth quarter. And ironically, this year in 5 ball games, we have held teams to 0 points in the fourth quarter. So that's what kicked in, and I'm glad it kicked in against a quality team like Madison Prep, because they can score at any time during the ball game. But I attribute that to my defense, really.
Coach, I just played the clip of the inbounds play from Madison Prep where you guys intercepted the ball and number 35, Sewell, hit the game-winning three-pointer. What was going through your mind when you guys got the ball and Sewell hit the three-pointer?
Well, Isaiah Jones made an outstanding play. The guy was trying to throw the ball over his head, and I guess he surprised himself as high he jumped. But he was able to get his hands on the ball and deflect it over to Jordan Matthews. And Jordan, in turn, being a guard, he's played all 5 positions for me since he's been at Peabody, and that paid off. He dribbled the ball across the half-court line. He found Rashard Mitchell to his left. And I guess Rashard was trying to drive the ball to the goal for a layup, but he saw, number 35 out the corner of his eye. That's Zadrian Sewell. And ironically, Zadrian was the GOAT in the game last year. He had a shot last year, and he missed a shot. So this year, just shows you how things can turn around for the better. He had the opportunity this year to win a game, and he knocked down the 3 ball. So I was very glad for Zadrian because he has a chance to end his high school career on a positive note.
You being a head coach for many, many years, you help instill life skills into these young athletes. Why is that so important as a head coach to do?
That's very important to me because basketball is only a tool. And I found out early in my career that academics is just as important as athletics. And I've been able to combine the two. I demand that my kids, they're at school every day, that they're in that classroom and, trying to be the best student they can be. And at the end of the day, we go in the gym and then we work as hard as we can to be the best athlete that we can be. But I am also a former student athlete. That means that, throughout my high school career, I had good grades and I was able to go to college and play college baseball. And, fortunately, I was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds out of college, but I did not make the team. But I had the educational background to go into the teaching profession. So I kind of use that knowledge and my expertise in that area to help these young men. So I demand that they be academically sound.
At the post-game press conference, someone asked about you retiring. And I'm sitting there saying, nah, I don't think that's happening no time soon. And your son even responded, no, that's not happening. As long as I got these chances to still make memories with my father, that's going to happen. But my question is, what motivates you to continue to be a head coach?
Well, number one is you have to have a love for the kids, for the students. And, I've been teaching school for 53 years. This will be my 53rd year as a classroom teacher. And I've been coaching basketball for 49 years. I was 10 years an assistant, and I've been the head coach for 39 years. But I've always put the students first. And it's a joy to me, to get up in the morning and get to school and try to figure out some way to.
We lost coach for a second. I bet somebody called his phone. Somebody called his phone. Hopefully, there he is, coach.
But that's been the key to my success is putting the kids first.
Most definitely, coach. Before I pass it on to my good friend VK Jones, my last question to you is: you are going into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame, coach. First of all, congratulations on that. Tell us your feelings about that.
Well, I'm a finalist. I'm not quite in yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm just a finalist, and it has to go before a committee of 24 people. And in order for you to be selected, you have to be on 18 out of the 24 ballots.
Wow.
So thank you, and that's the icing on the cake. Dr. James Naismith is the one that invented basketball,
Right.
and to be able to get into that Hall of Fame, but even to be named is a great honor. So I'm very elated and happy about that. Not only for myself, but for my family, my wife who has been by my side the whole way, and this year we'll be married for 50 years, and I'm very
Congratulations.
proud of that. But for my family, uh, for my players, for my school, for my community, that's very, very rewarding.
VK Jones.
I'll take it, Jared, if
Go ahead,
he's
George Peppers. Go ahead.
well, first off, Coach Smith, thank you for taking the time for joining us. Congratulations on yet another state championship. Seems like old hat, doesn't it? 10 titles, you know. And I did get to meet you at the Alario Center prior to your first game against Crescent City. And it
Okay.
was a great pleasure to meet you in person. And it's an honor to talk to you tonight.
Okay.
My first question, though, Central Louisiana had a little bit of a renaissance at Marsh Madness. You had three teams based in Central Louisiana win state titles. Marksville winning it, of all's public charter, and you guys talk about the growth of Central Louisiana basketball. It used to be, I don't want to say an afterthought. I don't know if that's the right word, but it wasn't as relevant as other parts of the state. But it seems like over the past five so years, Central Louisiana basketball has improved greatly. Talk about that.
Well, I think that's because of the new setup with the LSHA. Now we
Hmm.
two division. I mean, we have two select and non-select, and then you have five divisions. So I think that's opening it up to a lot of schools who hadn't been, in the running for state championships or even making it to the top 20. But with the
Right.
vision, it's opening up for more schools. Those two coaches I know very well, and they do an outstanding job. Coach Perkins has been along. I mean, he's been around a long time. And after he won the state championship, I called him and to congratulate him because he's kind of been under my wings starting out. So I was very elated for him. And then Coach Oki over at Avoy's Charter, he's a very dedicated young coach also.
Mm. We made the I made the distinction. I think was it last week, JB, when we talked about the Final Fours and a lot of the brackets. And I feel like this Final Four with you, Shaw, Carver, and Madison Prep, I felt like it was the hardest foursome of the semifinals of each class. Do you agree?
I definitely, I definitely agree. And I say that because if you remember last year, we finished 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, you did.
All four teams made it there. Carver, beat us in the semis, and then they went on to beat Madison Prep for their second consecutive state championship. And this year, you had the same four teams. Uh,
Mhm.
got by Carver in the semis, and then went on to beat Madison Prep for the championship. So you're exactly right. Division II in select is a very, very tough division, and I'm just glad that we were able to come out on top.
And there were really good teams that didn't make the top 28 out of Division Two. You guys got there, but with teams that just missed, and I felt like that depth wise, it was the strongest of the four that were left. Next question. I know we talk about 10 state championships. like I mentioned, I watched you guys against Crescent City, and the way y'all dominated that game, and y'all beat a lot of state champions on y'all schedule. I think 3 or 4 of your wins were against teams that won state titles.
Correct.
Um, that being said, when did you realize, like, you know what, I might just get number 10. This might be the year. When was that moment?
Well, I thought, as you said, when we came down to New Orleans and we played in the national prep tournament, and
Hmm.
good team down there, as you said. And then in the championship game, we played, I think, the number 10 team ranked in the country out of Louisville, Kentucky, and
Yep.
we played them to overtime and had a chance to win that game, but the turnovers and free throws kind of hurt us in the overtime. So really, that was the turning point, I think, for our team, being able to play those caliber teams that we played in New Orleans. I mean, even we played a team out of Beaumont, Texas, and we were able to beat that team also. So I felt that we had the pieces necessary for us to win. We just had to go back, work on the little things, our ball handling and our free throw shooting.
You talk about hallmarks and moments. I feel like your defense is what defines what Peabody's about. And not saying y'all can't put the ball in the basket, but it feels like whenever you put that press on, teams just wilt. What is it about defense that you just take pride in coaching it?
Well, you're right. We do take pride in coaching it, but our guys take pride in playing it also. As I said earlier, that this team was built on defense, and fortunate enough, we were long. I had the big guys, and then my threes and fours were long. So and then we had the quickness at the 1 and the 2 guard. So that helped us to be very effective, on our press. And then, like I say, these guys were very determined. As I said, we lost last year in the semis to Carver. So they were determined, dedicated, and they worked hard. We worked harder in the summer, this past summer, than we've ever worked. So they were dedicated and they were determined to get back and contend for another state championship.
I got to watch the semifinal against Carver. One of my Facebook friends put the LHSAA feed on, and I got to watch that semifinal. Talk about the kid from Carver Leather. Man, he's one of the highest rated big men in the state. Talk
Correct.
about him. You having seen him now, what are your impressions of him?
Well, we played against him 2 years in a row now. I tell you what,
Mhm.
for a big man, he is fundamentally sound. He does all the things correct that a post guy should do. He keeps the ball above his head. He stays around the rim. He goes from block to block. So in this day and time, it's hard to get a young man to do that because you look at the college level and the pro level, everybody is shooting the three ball now. So for
Yeah.
him to be in that position and perfect that position, that's a rarity, in today's basketball.
10 state titles. And first of all, let me offer up my congratulations on you making the finalists for the Naismith. I feel like maybe I'm a little biased here, but I think you should get in based on what you've done, not just with the basketball team, but with the school, with making such a profound impact on kids' lives. And I feel like you deserve that chance, and I pray and I hope that they call your name. I hope you get there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, I give all the credit, as I said, to the players that have played for me for a long period of time. I'm working with generational players. I've worked with the fathers. Now I'm coaching their sons. So, being able to relate to different generational of kids, I mean, that's just a blessing from God. And I'm glad to do that. And I'm glad to be an impact, to have been an impact
Right.
for men. And of course, that our young black men today, they need, as Charles Barkley said, I'm not a role model, but they need role models. I mean, they need positive role models.
Yes.
And I'm just proud and glad that God has blessed me to be one of those positive role models.
Well, if there's a definition for a positive role model, it's got your picture on it. I'll say that. My last question before I pass it to VK Jones. I know it's too early to talk about it, but next season, what do Peabody fans have to look forward to next season? What kind of a team are you going to put together
Well,
to try to go back?
okay, well, they know that we're going to work hard. I lose a lot of quality players this year, but they know that we're going to put the time and the dedication in. Once you build a tradition, the tradition basically speaks for itself. So the guys that come into the program, they're willing to. sacrifice, to work hard, to get in the classroom, and above all, and I tell them all the time, you got to be good people. And I firmly believe that good things happen to good people. So they know that we're going back to the drawing board, and we're going to work very hard to represent our school, Peabody Magnet High School.
BK.
Coach Smith, it's good to have you on, man. We all know your legends and everything else, and man, you continue to do some yeoman's work at Peabody High School, Coach.
Thank you, thank you. And I said before, it's all for the kids, and I just truly been blessed. I mean, over 30 my career, we've been averaging 30 wins a year as a team. I was fortunate enough to have two state championships that was undefeated. They both were 41-0. So, like I said, I take my hat off to the guys that are willing to put in the work, both on and off the court. And thank y'all very much for having me this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, and I know you have a lot of connections, a good bit of connections to New Orleans area, a bit too, as
Yes,
well. Yes,
yes, I
yes.
do. My daughter, Dr. Kamisha Ross, lives in New Orleans, and she works at Sunos. And also, Marcus Brown, which works for Entergy, is one of my former players. He was on our first state championship team in 1979, and he is. I think he's an executive vice president for Entergy in New Orleans, and also he's over the Super Bowl that's coming up in New Orleans.
Oh,
Oh, amazing, amazing.
Yeah,
Looks like you got some good things coming ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's that's a blessing, man. It's a
yeah.
blessing.
So
But
maybe I can get on the 50-yard line at the Super Bowl.
hey, why not? Next 2 years, something else, maybe
All
potential
right.
Hall of Fame and the end of the Super Bowl. I mean, what a great 2 years for you. But
Yes, and it's in New Orleans. New Orleans is a great city. I'm always down there. Enjoy it.
agreed. I want to ask you this, Coach. Uh, you really was humbled with this win and everything else. And me and Jared talked about it a little bit last night, and we said that I think this was the year of the payback for Coach Smith with those 2 wins. But you're so humbled in the press conference and said that I wish I can put this as one of my best championship runs ever, but I can't. I got others that were really, really good in itself, but this one was as good. But your thoughts on the week and everything? It seems like your team was really, really focused to try to get it done.
That's right. And, we always start off the season with winning a state championship. Of course, you got to win your district first. You got to be highly ranked in the polls, in order to, make that run. But I feel real good about this team coming in to the season with the hard work they put in last year, and it fell a little short. And I knew that if they were willing to come back and work as hard or even harder this year, that we had a chance, to win the state championship. But like I said, I'm so happy for these young men because, as I said, we had some downfalls last year, but they were able to come back and redeem themselves. And I'm very happy for them and all the boys in my program, basketball program. Those young men have made Coach Smith.
Very much agreed. I mean, Jordan Matthews, like your whole team was really good, deep bench in itself. Jordan Matthews really stood out the majority of the season, and he looked like he really turned things another notch, but really started playing like a man out there,
That's correct.
especially against Carver in the matchup against
Correct.
Dejon Leatherman, and then stepped up a little bit more in the championship, making a huge play. What are your thoughts on his leadership and how he stepped up this year?
You're exactly right. Jordan is just a mild-mannered, unselfish young man. He's been starting for me for 4 years. He came in and started as a freshman. So he's been in my program for 4 years. He's gotten better each year. But like I said, he's just a gentle giant. And sometime I had to kind of light the fire on him, But in the last two ball games, he was just determined to lead this team, and he did that. And he was strong on the boards, strong rebounding, and then he became offensive minded, which really what propelled us to the state championship.
And taking a look, I tell you, there was one guy. I think it was Rashard Mitchell.
That's correct.
How he stepped up in the
Correct.
semifinals, and he said he's been a spark for you guys the majority of the year, just a junior.
Correct.
What I see in him, the way he played, probably the second coming of D. Wagner. D. Wagner was unbelievable, and probably I've seen some great players that you have coached, but I
Right.
think D. Wagner stands out as one of the best I've ever seen you coach because he was just amazing in himself with his game.
That's correct. You're exactly right. D. Wagner about the same size, about 5'7", but he had the heart of a giant. And you're right. Rashard Mitchell is out of that same mold, and he's just a junior. And he was also the district MVP this year. But he's a fighter. I mean, he's the type of guy that he's backed down from no one. He loves competition. He loves to roll up his sleeve and get to work. And you're exactly right. He was the key to this team all year.
And I tell you, you're in line, hopefully to make the basketball Hall of Fame. But how it is that you work so hard and being like one of the greats in this state. You look at the years you're put in, like you're right there with JT Curtis in football with all the years you put in, and it's amazing you guys are keeping it going. But in basketball, you have yourself, Chris Jennings, people like Bernard Griffin, Joel Hawkins. That is legendary names, and people really look up to y'all. But y'all are just basically basketball history in itself. And I don't want to forget any names in itself. And I forgot the legendary head coach at Carroll, who really got that program going in itself. But you're up there with a lot of great names that has put a lot of work into the state.
Well, thank you so much, and you're exactly correct. I had a chance as a young coach, to see these to see these guys at work and the type of teams that they had put together, and all of those teams were, put together with discipline. They had discipline, and the young men on those teams, and as I said, they were young men, and most of those guys, as you said, those coaches, they put guys in the major colleges. Kerry Kittles, played at St. Aug, and you got big Benoit Benjamin that played up at Carroll and Monroe. So these coaches, I kind of patterned myself after these coaches, producing young men that develop, and they went on to become college players, and hopefully they all are productive members of society. Like I was telling you about the guy Marcus Brown, and that's what my whole goal is not only the basketball part, but getting these young men, out in life, excuse me, and helping them to be successful out there in society.
And another legend that was in the house and played in the state championship became a short, great fight in itself, Danny Broussard. Another
Yeah,
person who's up there. And I mean, for his courageousness, for him to come back after an operation,
correct.
for
Heart.
him to get himself going and coaching again and leading his team to the state championship game. What are your thoughts? And I know sometimes you kind of frequently talk with Danny sometimes.
Yeah, Dan and I go way back. Dan and I, I think we're about neck and neck for the wins in the state of Louisiana. Dan and I think started 2 years ahead of me in coaching, but he's a good guy, very dedicated to the game, and he also has produced championship teams and great players. So yes, he's one of the top coaches in the state of Louisiana.
Taking a look at your win was a lot of it was key to there's a lot of redemption wins we seen over the weekend. Yourself, Casey Jones finally winning one
Good
at
guy.
Wassman. I mean, a very good. He mentioned you last night in the interview.
Right.
Also, you look at Crescent City's redemption. You look
Right.
at Liberty
Right.
bouncing back after 2 years ago.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on a lot of these redemption stories that these teams coming back from being there a year before and return and felt like unfinished business and it got it done?
But that's the purpose of competition. Competition says you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But either way it goes, as a player and as a coach, you should learn something from the experience. And I tell my guys all the time, you can lose twice. You can lose on the scoreboard, with the score, and you can lose by not learning anything from the game. So I'm a firm believer in that, and I think all of those coaches that you just mentioned, they are very competitive. They want their kids to be competitive. And when I say competitive, that's on and off the basketball court. So you're exactly right. Casey Jones, I think he had been to the top 28 times without a state championship. And this year he pulled away with it. You got a young coach over at Liberty, and he won a state championship. And then you got, Coach Alex Perkins over at Marksville. He's been in the profession, I know, over 30 years, and he was able to win his first state championship. So, I mean, that's a testament to the will of these coaches, to stick around a long time and to help these young men.
How the community was when y'all won that thing is a lot of people came to this game, but
That's
how
correct.
it was when you came back home, then I know it was a sigh of relief, but I know that community was so excited, and
Correct.
it's been a while, but getting one, it just really, I know it feels good around there
Yeah,
in Alexandria.
that's correct. Our last state championship was in 2020. That was during the COVID year. And of course, in that game, no fans were allowed. That's the first championship game I ever played in an empty Burton Coliseum. But the only people in the Coliseum was the players and the coaches, and of course, the officials. But you're exactly right. This is a testament uh, to my coaching career and also to the young men that have played. And the community has been behind us 100%. The first championship we played in was in 1979 at the Rapides Parish Coliseum, and it was capacity was 10,000. You had 10,000 inside, and you had 10,000 outside. So, and then we went from there to LSU, from LSU to UL Lafayette. Excuse me for just a moment. And in each one of those venues, our fans have turned out and packed the arena. So I've always said our fans are our sixth man, and they've been behind us as long as I've been coaching here at Peabody High School.
And I'm actually this last thing and let JB close things out. Man, you had a moment with your son and everything. He's been your right hand man, helping you out so much and everything. And it's unbelievable that the question came out and wasn't surprising that somebody asked that. Well, is it any time for you to retire? And your son stepped in and said, no, it ain't time yet. No, But it seemed like you and your son had a moment after the game, hugging one another, winning the championship. But then after, even with the press conference, he seems like he is your guy, and he really is committed to this pre-body program and to you.
That's correct. We are a team. My son played for me in 1995. Well, he played 4 years. He finished in 1995, and he went on from Peabody program up to North Carolina, Charlotte. Where he played his college basketball, and then he returned to Louisiana. Started his family. I have two grandkids. He has two kids, a daughter and a son. And he's been around basketball all his life. As a little boy growing up, I was in the gym, he was in the gym. So he's a gym rat, and he's just trying to give back what was given to him. And he's very knowledgeable. Like I said, he played college basketball at North Carolina, Charlotte. And he brings back, some of the things that I don't possess as a coach. I'm that old coach. That hard nose. When you get knocked down, get up. But he brings the X's and the O's on offense and defense to the game, and we just a team. Just like I put five boys on the floor, they know they got two guys over there on the side working together.
Coach, I'll get you out of here on this.
Okay, I
I
think
love your demeanor on the sidelines. It's like a switch turns on, and you're just a different person. You're intense, you're focused, and I can go back to when you guys played Silsby at the National Prep Classic out here in New Orleans. And I'm sitting behind your bench, and I think Silsby went on a run, and you got up, called timeout, you call your team over, you lit into them, and you turned around to go back to the bench, and you looked at me eye to eye, and you had the look in your face, and I told George Peppers next to me, I said, "Man, I'm not even playing," and I felt like Coach fussed at me. But I want to know this competitive drive that you have. Where did you get this from?
Well, I've always had the fire and the desire, not for me as a coach, but to let these young men know that there is really no limit to what they can achieve on and off the court. And sometimes they have to be reminded, sometimes you have to be reminded, hey, I mean, you're slacking off. I mean, but you gotta stay in there. You gotta hang tough. You gotta work harder. And I think that's one of the pieces that we're missing, with our young people today, that drive, that goal setting, and that you're not going to stop me from achieving my goal. And that's what I try to do as a coach. I try to instill that in my players. To just work through the opposition, the negative vibes, and be strong and work through to the end. And that's what I try to instill in them. Sometimes I have to light a little fire in them, but they understand. They understand what it's all about. And that's why you see the change. But I also let them know too that, hey, it's a ball game. It's just a game. And when the game is over, we shake hands and then we go back to the drawing board. It's nothing that's detrimental, where you got to, saying, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? So, but I think if the young people today can do that, be able to turn that switch on and turn it off, we'd have a lot less problems with the youth of today.
I agree so much, Coach. I agree
End of
so
that.
much. Coach Charles Smith, once again, congratulations on another state championship, and we wish you many more success in the future as you continue to coach at Peabody. And we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you,
And
Coach.
thank you all for inviting me. And it's been my pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
As Coach Charles Smith, the legend, the head coach at Peabody Magnet High School, and that was a great interview. I love that one. That was great. You can't say anything bad about Coach at all with the job he has done at Peabody for many, many years. 10 state titles, many semifinals appearances, many championship game appearances, 9 state titles as a head coach. I mean, the resume speaks for itself, VK.
Yeah, I think he is already in the Louisiana Hall of Fame, and you know what I'm saying. And getting an ASIP meant to be very huge for him. He's one of the legends. He's one of the legends in the game. He's the legend. You could say him and Danny Broussard is funny that them two are fighting for the most wins. But you know what I'm saying. But now I think you look at it. Uh, Charles Smith can really become a legend if he stays around the next couple of years because
He is a
he
legend. He already is a legend.
well he already is, but I'm talking about being the ultimate winner because he's like he's 2 championships away from possibly maybe 3, but he's 2 to tie the all-time state championship winner, and that's Joe Hawkins. He has 11 state titles as a head coach at Southern Lab. Could have had 12 straight, but it didn't happen because of LHSA stepping in. But he's won 11 straight, but not just 11 straight, but 11 state titles. So he could have a chance to possibly pass him up. But at the same time, he's still a legend, regardless of the fact you hear Joe Hawkins' name, you hear Charles Smith's name, Danny Broussard's name, you hear Bernard Griffin's name, you hear also Chris
Jeff
Jennings'
Jones.
name,
Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones' name. You can't forget about him. Casey Jones is another. I mean, some unbelievable names in itself that has been around a long time and has really turned it around. And Charles Smith, I mean, and he is a staple to that Peabody community. He is a big time staple, and that's how critical things is, and especially for Charles Smith, he is Peabody High School.
I see how you look at it as the ultimate winner in comparison of state championship, but I think he is the ultimate winner not only with state championship, but what he has done with generations. We're talking about many people he has coached who now have kids that he's coaching, and
Agreed.
I
That
think he's already that.
I agree with you on that too. I agree with it because it's amazing. Because wow, this is another history book
Yeah,
we just opened on this show. Besides Danny Broussard, this is amazing when we have long time people who've been there. Casey Jones opened a little bit something too as well. I mean, it's good to learn about the history of the state of Louisiana in high school basketball.
George Peppers, your thoughts on the legend Charles Smith?
I mean, it was an absolute honor to talk to him tonight. It was a great pleasure to meet him in advance of the opening game when they destroyed Crescent City, a team that wound up winning a state championship. Uh, Look, I don't know how many more superlatives we can use to describe, so I'll go with this. The next time, and we will have Coach Smith on again. The next time we interview him, the intro will be Naismith Hall of Famer, Louisiana legend, national legend Charles Smith. I'd love to make that introduction. And VK, I'm just looking at the wire, and Duke lost tonight to North Carolina State in the ACC tournament quarterfinals. So 71-6, I don't know the final, but Duke's gone. So I know it greatly upsets you being a closet North Carolina fan. I know you're a Duke fan at heart. I say that tongue in cheek. I know that because I pick on him, Jared. Oh, man, do
Yeah, you
I.
pick on him right now because I know he's not.
I know he's not. He's a North Carolina fan, but
That's
no,
right,
Duke's
baby.
gone. So, but no. Back to Coach Smith. Look, this state championship, I feel like it felt a little bit different than the others that he's won because of the difficulty of the schedule that he had to travail all year long. Look at the teams and look at the schedule, recapping, and look, what do we know about the Sugar Bowl tournament? It brings the best of the best. A lot
That's
of
right.
top tier teams. We saw a lot of top end talent, top end teams, and Peabody really, really acquitted themselves well there. And at that point, I thought, that's a team that could get the title. And, they had to survive a resilient Carver team in a semifinal and then again at Madison Prep, being behind, they've got a finishing kick, unlike many prep basketball teams in the state of Louisiana. Peabody is one of those that they know when it's go time and they know what they've got to do and their understanding of the pressure and the situation. And Coach Smith just and I remember that game against Silsby. I got to go back because what you were telling, I was like, damn. I was like, I was looking to see if he had a Peabody shirt on when he did that.
He
I was
was
like, dude, I
oh,
didn't see the jersey. I was like,
oh,
I was like,
he gave me that look like he could have punched a hole
oh,
in
I
my
know
chest.
he could have done
Oh,
a Jake Paul.
I'll tell you, bro. He turned around after fussing at them. He turned around and like looked me dead in my eyes, like he could have came at me, like I was
I
the
don't.
one that did something wrong.
But he is an icon. He is a
Yes,
legend. There is nothing more that can be said about him that we haven't already extolled. Congratulations on winning a 10th state title at Peabody. And again, the renaissance of Central Louisiana really took flight in Lake Charles. And you know, were they the best? Let me ask you guys this because you guys were able to be there. Man, I hate y'all for that. No, I'm kidding when I say that. Um, Let me ask you guys this: you saw a lot of great basketball over, and VK was there the whole week. Jared, you went there, I think, midweek, if I
Thursday,
remember right,
Thursday to
to
Saturday.
watch only to watch your alma mater mess it up again.
No,
Just
look, I would have been out there earlier, but Wednesday night I was at the Drake J Cole concert.
well, that's okay. That's understandable.
Yeah,
That's totally understandable. But with that said, there were a lot of great basketball teams in that tournament
yes,
in the top 28.
yes.
Both of you. This is to both of you. Who was the best team you saw and why?
Um, oh man, best team there, man.
Good
Peabody was
question.
great. Peabody great, but I think I said this last night or no Tuesday night with Coach Brandon White after I finished the interview with him, and Coach
Mhm.
Haggins even agreed with me because Coach Haggins was commenting. Um, I said I think Liberty was the best team, hands down. Liberty was the best team, and then I probably go Peabody and Walsby with a tie for second. To be honest with you,
Okay. BK.
that would be my pick. But I said Liberty.
I see Liberty alone in itself. because of not just getting that win. You seen some lapses, but they got it done at the end. But looking at what they done this year is amazing. And then on top of that, probably one of the best championship schedule resumes you have seen in a long, long time. We've seen some great teams that had some great schedules and got some great wins. Liberty is one of them, and they really proved that they're great. You have to think every team that's in the top 28, Liberty has beat them. Liberty has beat them all. The last team that had a great resume like that was 2014 Landry Walker in their first year winning the state championship. They beat out of the team in the top 28. They beat 16 of those teams. So that's a lot, including state champions. So for Liberty, they did big. I would second it would be Peabody. Third would be Walsman. Really, it'd be a tie for third between Walsman and Ponchatoula. Ponchatoula really, really turned up when it was time,
Mhm.
especially in that second half of the championship game.
I'm going to say this right quick because I can't forget about Ponchatoula, but Ponchatoula and Peabody did play early in the year, and Ponchatoula won, I think, by more than 20. But Jordan Matthews was not in that game. He didn't play. That's
Mhm.
when he was injured. So can't forget about that because maybe Jordan Matthews plays in that game, be a different story. So, but yeah, I can't forget about Ponchatoula, man, with Allen Graves, um, Jeremiah Lewis, and Tyus Jackson. Can't forget about them. But yeah, definitely, man. Peabody. When I saw Peabody play Trinity for the championship at the All State Prep Classic out here, and they lost in overtime, I think by 3. I said then, yeah, they're going back. They're going back, and they brought back many of those players from the team last year. You know, I said they're going back for sure. I mean, you got Trinity from Kentucky, who was a top 10 nationally ranked team, and you took them to overtime and almost won that game. I said, yeah, they're going back, and it just goes to show you the teams that we have in this state can probably play with a lot of teams across the nation. A lot of them.
And remember, at the Trinity game, they missed free throws in that game.
Oh, coach
You
said it.
know,
Yeah,
you've got to hit those charity stripes. You've got to hit shots, and coaches preach it, but players got to do it. And Peabody, they missed an opportunity to really fire the biggest salvo in winning the Sugar Bowl. Trinity, look, no discredit to them at all, because those kids are outstanding. They were one of the best teams I saw in the Sugar Bowl tournament
yeah,
in the days that we went there. They're an outstanding group, and uh, they shot the ball well. They played good. Played great face-up defense. Peabody, though, boy, there's something different. That Peabody press, it hits different. I saw them against Crescent City the first game, and they made Dwight McGee work in that
yeah,
game. I mean, they won big, but they made McGee earn everything that he got in that game. And look, and could they do that again? I can't say they would or they wouldn't, because remember, Crescent City only dressed 6 players in that
big
game.
players that game. Yep.
Yeah, so that's like, already you're already at a disadvantage. But you know what? This was a great prep basketball season. Onto the diamond, onto baseball, and but before we do, I just want to pay homage to the Loyola men and the women making the national tournament. Loyola's men get Freed Hardman. That's a 116, and the women play a team called Southeastern out of Georgia, I think it is, a team they beat earlier this year. So good luck to both of them. But also, on behalf of the Hash It Out Show, we want to offer our prayers and condolences to John Curtis's head coach, JT Curtis, who lost his wife, sadly, a couple of days ago. The services are up on CrescentCitySports.com if you want to look at Ken's article and tribute to Coach and to Lydia. Um, so if you're looking to go to the services, you can look up that information. It's on CrescentCitySports.com. But Coach Curtis, we're thinking about you. We love you, and our prayers are with you.
Most definitely.
Yep,
Most definitely.
definitely. And appreciate you pointing that out, George. You know what I'm saying? Because I had seen that post a couple of days ago and Jeff put it up. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't read into it until the moment I got to the profile, and I was like, wow. Because I knew she was going through a lot. Me and JT talked about it personally a little bit, especially with my personal times with my wife. had to deal with things with MS and stuff like that, and seeing what JT was doing to take care of his wife and everything and stuff like that. So you know,
Well, the three
I,
of us have a lot in common in that respect.
yes,
You, me, and Coach, because we all lost our spouses. So,
and
if
especially
anybody understands it,
and
we do.
especially being a caregiver, you know what I'm saying. So
Yep.
big, but prayers go out to the entire the entire Curtis family, John Curtis School in itself, and the community. Our prayers are with you, JT, and we love you, man, and we wish you healing and everything else.
Most definitely. I want to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Hash It Out Show to talk about the NFL a little bit. We don't talk much about the NFL, but we're going to talk about free agency. We'll talk about Nathan Peterman being signed by the Saints as a backup quarterback. We'll be right back here on the Hash It Out Show.
Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by George Peppers and VK Jones. Let's talk a little bit of NFL free agency, but let's start right here from our hometown, New Orleans, about these New Orleans Saints. So they signed linebacker Willie Gay to a 1-year deal, and we already know he's not going to be a starting linebacker because that's going to be Demario Davis and Pete Warner. And then Jameis Winston is gone to be Deshaun Watson's backup in Cleveland. But who do the Saints sign? Nathan Peterman. I, I'm just at the point where I don't think this organization cares about winning anymore. I'm really at that point, man. I just don't know. You
Mm.
went out and got a quarterback that's middle tier that hasn't shown any capabilities of winning or even being a leader on a team. The draft picks for the past couple of years hasn't been stellar. They used to be, don't get me wrong. At one time, Mickey Loomis used to get a lot of good draft picks. Right now, it just hasn't lived up to what it used to be. And now, the backup quarterback we get, I'm just like, what? Are we serious? So we just let Jameis go. And let's be honest, Dennis Allen never wanted Jameis as his quarterback. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Because I've never seen a quarterback get injured and doesn't come back in the season to reclaim his starting spot. Oh, you just on the bench. You on the bench. At least I can say Aaron Brooks and Jeff Blake bowed it forward in the offseason, and Aaron Brooks won it. But this case in the season, Jameis wins the starting job and gets hurt, and then nope, sit on the bench. I just don't think this organization cares about winning right now. Because right now, I don't know what the hell we're doing. I don't like what we're doing. And I am not even a fan of Dennis Allen. And I used to get up and watch all these Saints games. I could care less to watch a Saints game with Dennis Allen as a head coach. George Peppers, you go ahead.
um, you are being extremely nice, sir. When you said he's
Hey,
middle tier, that dude
he
is
was middle tier when he
straight.
came from I'm saying when he came here. He was
Oh,
middle tier when he came here.
well, look, he had a decent career at Pitt, and was it Buffalo that? No, who drafted him? And he started five.
Wait. Are you talking about Nathan Peterman?
Nathan Peterman. That's what I'm
No,
talking
when
about.
I said middle tier, I was talking about Derek Carr.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought
Derek
you were
Carr.
talking. I was like,
No,
wait a
no, no,
minute.
no, no. Let me clarify. Derek
Okay, I
Carr.
got you. I
Nathan
got
Peterman,
you.
middle tier. Hell no, bottom of the
I
barrel.
mean, Look, the jersey will be in the mail soon, sir. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that might be toilet paper in some people's eyes, but
yeah. That was in my head. I wasn't gonna say it, but go ahead.
I know. But that being said, listen, what you said, and I'm not. I mean, I live here. We all live here, but y'all know who my ride or die team is. I mean, I root for the Saints too, but when they do comical nonsense like this, Jameis Winston, for all the BS that he had to put up with in Tampa, all that stuff about he's too stupid, he's this and that. Remember, he had 4 offensive coordinators in Tampa. Here, I'm going to piggyback off of something you just said, Jared Boyd. I think that, and it was rumored all over Saints camp last year when Jameis got benched, when Jameis was on the bench. It was rumored that they were afraid to play him because they thought he would have more shine than Derek Carr. You know what? I believe it because Derek Carr is not a needle mover. Jameis, if given the proper autonomy and whatnot, maybe. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the next great big thing. I'm not saying all that, but let's go back to Nathan Peterman. In 6 seasons in the NFL, he has thrown 4 touchdown passes and 13 interceptions. Yet he is now tasked, BK, with being the number 2 quarterback on this roster when you're not sure about that. Wait, look, Derek Carr had a decent finish last year, but that schedule he finished with last year, the 3 of us could have got numbers last year in that last pocket of games. I don't like this move. I don't like Mickey Loomis being the GM, and it emphasizes the point that come April 25th, I think it's the draft, they had better, and I strongly emphasize better, find a tackle. Find a left tackle because Penning isn't that dude. Joe Alt or Joe Alt out of Notre Dame or Falamanu out of Penn State, or J or Latham. Yeah, better find a tackle. But the Saints, sadly, BK, do not have the foresight to make common sense moves. And Nathan Peterman, if this is a common sense move, I'd hate to see stupid.
Hold on, VK. Let me stop you for 1 second. Breaking news: former Dolphins wide receiver Cedric Wilson Jr. agrees on 2-year deal with the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Not a
Needle
big,
mover.
not a splash, right? Not a big
That's a
splash.
needle mover, baby. That's like Roman Reigns. Needle mover.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Sure. All right, BK, it's all you, dude. Oh, rant coming. Let it fly,
if
bro.
this is a time, if any Saints fans want to hop off, you have the right to hop off. I would never see to this day that we have the second coming of what was the general manager? I had the
Bill
name of
Kuharik.
it. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
We would not have the second coming of Big Bill Kuharik. We're getting that now. Bill Kuharik was the reason I hopped off that wagon because of an idiot like him causing a franchise to be like, oh, we were just worried about money. What about wins, you idiot? Oh my God. And now we bring in, Bomani Jones calls him the Peterman. He's called the
For
Peterman
obvious
for a
reasons.
reason.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, he's known as the Peterman.
Mhm.
We bring this piece of garbage here. I'm sorry. What we right now have a dumpster fire in the New Orleans Saints. A
Mhm.
dumpster fire. The Saints ain't gonna win jack squat next year. The division's wide the hell open.
No, it ain't. Atlanta's winning it.
And you might be, well, I'm not going to
I
say
ain't going there
Atlanta.
either. I'm not going there either.
I'm not going there either.
I'm not
I
going
don't
there.
trust Kirk Cousins to
I'm
say
picking Tampa.
I
I'm
don't
picking
trust
Tampa.
Kirk Cousins to save my life.
I
Kirk
trust
Cousins
Raheem
been
Morris, though.
What up, Brandon Fred Jones? What up, baby? FanView Podcast. For those that y'all watching the show that don't know about the FanView Podcast, go on YouTube, search FanView Podcast, hit that subscribe button to our friends.
They do
Carry
some
on,
great
BK.
things, man. Yes, sir. All I'm gonna tell you is this: I don't trust Kirk Cousins to save my freaking life, and I feel bad for Raheem Morris. I really freaking do, because you got Justin freaking what's his name? Justin
Fields.
Fields had a chance and could have got him, might have felt in Atlanta. But all of a sudden, you want to get Kirk Cousins.
I'm gonna tell you this:
All I'm gonna tell you is this, coach.
Atlanta went and got Kirk Cousins a little bit of help compared to here. They traded Desmond
That's true.
Ritter for Rondell Moore.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna tell you
That's
is
called
this.
aggressive and getting better. That's what they're doing. Foresights, organizations with foresight do these things. Gentlemen, what are the Saints doing? They're
Nothing.
disenfranchising their own fan base, is what they're doing.
There will
I
not
could
be.
say a lot stronger than that, gentlemen, but I'm
They
not
will.
going to say it.
There will not be any sellouts next year. Real talk. There will not be any sellouts.
But BK will find
And
that $10 ticket just to watch the game,
man,
huh?
man, look. If there's any opportunity to go watch an NFL game, take the advantage.
Surely.
But at the same time, bruh, this is bad. And all I'm gonna tell you, and I hate to say it, Gail Benson, if you don't do something in a year, if you don't do something after this year, I am sorry. I am calling you out. If you don't do anything to change anything after this season coming up, sell the team. I don't care about people saying, "Oh, she can't do well." I don't care. It don't make any damn sense. It don't. You made all these moves with the Pelicans, but you don't make the moves for your husband's number one team that he dedicated his life to.
Yep.
No way. I'm like this. If you don't care enough and there's too much loyalty for you and everything else, sell the team who's somebody who's going to care and going to bring a winning product to this city. Look at the Houston Texans. They are in position to make a push in the AFC. And where we are in the freaking dumps.
This schedule this year that they have, I don't see no more than 4 or 5 wins. And I'm being honest with you all. But look, we talk about free agency. Let's let's talk about some running backs. And I want to start with Saquon Barkley.
Oh, man, do we have to?
Oh yeah, we got to. But
Bruh,
I know you feel a certain way because you're a Giants fan. But
I am.
let's be real. Why did Saquon leave? Saquon left because y'all decided to pay Daniel Jones all that money and franchise tag him. Come on now. When the man tore his ACL, put the team on his back, that was the first mistake your Giants organization made. Now, I'm going to say this. He's with the Eagles. Did that make the Eagles that much better than what they were? I don't think so. I don't think so because DeAndre Swift had a career year with the Eagles last year, and now he's gone with Saquon. I don't think adding Saquon makes the Eagles that much better. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't see it. Do y'all see
I
it?
do. I do.
Okay, let yours go. Let
Go
yours
ahead, go
go.
ahead, go ahead,
I
Jeff.
do because as a Giants fan, I feel like I'm compelled here. Let me say this: Saquon Barkley, when 100% healthy, you can't tell me that dude ain't top five. When
Oh,
100% healthy,
I agree.
that dude, yes, he's battled a myriad of injuries, knee and whatnot. He had an ACL tear, a quadriceps tear, and that set him back. And a year ago, I remember having this conversation with y'all that I, as a Giants fan, would have franchise tagged Daniel Jones and said, "Show me," and given Saquon and break the bank on Saquon.
Correct.
This doesn't happen if Joe Shane doesn't make the stupid mistake of, well, I think Daniel Jones is going to be paid like an elite quarterback, 47 million. Who? Not that guy. Get out of here with that stupidness. But you know what? I'm going to make this argument. I'm going to make this argument. That's not the worst Giant free agent loss this week. Xavier McKinney, 119 tackles, is a is a stud playing up and playing back. That dude did everything for us last year. That's two safeties in a row they've lost. Julian Love last offseason went to Seattle, and now Xavier McKinney. And one of my sergeants at work has been giving me grief because she's a Packers fan. She's like, "We got one. We got like." I told her, "Get out of." I didn't want to talk to her. I really didn't want to talk to her. But that's now the Giants are in a position at 6 in the draft. I can tell you right now, we're still a month out, a little more than a month out. I've already locked in who I want to see the Giants draft. Rome McDunsey, Washington. Give me him at 6, and I'm all the stains of last year might go away because that dude is going to be
With that
that dude is
quarterback
a
y'all
better
have,
prospect than
with that
Neighbors.
quarterback,
Quarterback at 6.
with Daniel Jones. You think that's gonna make a difference?
They signed Drew Lock, baby. What we don't need. They got that experience. I'm
Lord.
kidding. All right, no.
I was a
I
shot
mean, they
at you,
got that
VK.
experience, experience and mediocrity. That's what they got. But no, I say Adunze because who on the Giants receiving corps can you get scared of? No one.
No one.
Adunze. I'll make this argument, VK. I'll make this argument. Marvin Harrison Jr. clearly, to me, is the number one receiver in this draft. He's a generational talent. I know Neighbors has got the skill set and everything. I get the LSU fans flapping their gums, but I'll put Adunze against any one of those two. I think Adunze could be that guy.
VK, your thoughts on Saquon going to the Eagles?
Here's my question first. Is the defense is what's his name, not the defense coordinator no more for the Eagles?
Oh no, he's gone. You talk about Patricia and the other
Yes.
guy? I think
Yes.
they got rid of him.
Thank you, God. Here's what I'm gonna tell you is this. I think the Eagles have became much better now. And here's the thing. You got Thunder and Lightning with Swift and Saquon.
Swift gone.
Oh, Swift,
Swiss
what
out,
he's
dude.
at?
He's out.
Swift is
Oh,
a bear.
oh, wow. That's
He went
interesting.
to Chicago.
Wow, interesting. But Saquon being there, it's still gonna, despite what Swift did last year, he was amazing. But I think he's gonna do well. You know, offensive line probably gonna be improved and everything for the Eagles. And I think with the Eagles in itself, I think they're making moves to get back because I think they have learned they might have learned their lesson after what happened last year. And here's one other big sign: they got C.J. Gardner Johnson back. And
Yep,
I tell you one thing, that is huge
it is huge.
because that's the thing that they were lacking on last year defensively was the
Hmm.
playmaker. And now he's back. So he's gonna help the Eagles. I think with this, it's gonna help the Eagles get back on track next year. And hopefully they can go forward after that setback they had this past season.
Let's get to Derrick Henry going with the Ravens, and I think this is big because I don't think what's up, Colubius? What's happening? I don't think Derrick Henry is uh, washed up or done. I don't think so. I just think he had a bad O line last season, and now he's going to the number one rushing team in the entire NFL. Now, this team got to the conference
Championship.
championship last year and didn't run the ball at all, which is your strongest aspect of the game. Now
Yes, indeed.
you can get Derrick Henry. I think they can get back to the conference championship, but you cannot not do the most important aspect of your game, and that's run the football. You got to run the football. And with Derrick Henry, you got to run the ball. I mean, think about it. Conference championship game, you ran the ball 6 times. You tried to make Lamar Jackson a drop back quarterback that can throw the ball. But I think with Derrick Henry in this running game, because let's think about it. J.J. Dobbins cannot stay healthy at all. He cannot stay healthy. Gus Edwards has done a great job, but he's gone now. Derrick Henry, healthy, I say, watch out. This can be lethal. Your thoughts, George Peppers?
Derrick Henry going to the Baltimore Ravens cements them as the new guard in town. I think they have usurped the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are the two-time champions. We get it. We understand it. I think Derrick Henry gives the Ravens running backfield the backfield room a physicality they haven't had in a while. Dobbins, as you mentioned, can't stay healthy. Gus Edwards was a good change of pace, but he's not a guy that you feed the ball a lot to. Derrick Henry, you can give it to him 20 to 25 to 30 times a ball game, and guess what? He's going to put that work in and put tire tracks on defense. That's what he's going to do because he's that dude. He's not washed up. It was a middling offensive line, and I think there was some lack of direction, hence why Mike Vrabel got fired at the end of the year last year by Tennessee. That said, the Ravens have made one of the biggest moves, but VK, you pointed out something a little bit ago. The Houston Texans, man, is a tempting team in the AFC to come out. Look what they've done for CJ Stroud. They go get Joe Mixon to get that backfield. They lost Singletary to the Giants, but Mixon is a different kind of back when he's 100% on point. Remember, Cincinnati's O line isn't that good. Houston is building. Guess what? The Texans may be that new team in town. They may be that new team to say, oh, Super Bowl contender. But as far as the Ravens, I think they're the favorites going into next year. Let's see what the draft brings. But right now, I would tell you Baltimore is the top dog in the AFC.
I can agree that they are right there, but also Kansas City is still right there. Until you beat the Chiefs, they're still the favorites. I
Hmm.
think the Chiefs in Baltimore has one little thing, and I think the Henry signing is big for the Ravens. I think it's going to help them a lot. But Todd Monken is going to have to understand, especially not just the regular season but postseason. We continue to do what we do, the guys to the dance. So maybe you do that. And I
Hmm.
think with Henry, he's going to bring a lot, especially with the pass protection. So it's going to be a lot with that. And the thing about Henry, can he still go? I don't think he's washed up, but he's got a lot of freaking miles in them legs. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, but that's Ham
A lot.
Hocks, man. I ain't laying.
I know, but still, the body wear down, bro. It's not that running back shelf life is not long. All I'm gonna tell you, I think Henry, and I said it myself before the season, like he's getting worn down. I said it myself. He's got maybe 2 more years. He's getting worn down because that's a lot of work he's taking. I think he'll do good in Baltimore, but Baltimore's got 2 years with this guy because I'm telling you, he ain't got that much left. But we'll see what he has. I think he makes a great addition to the Ravens. I think the Ravens need one more good target in the receiving core, and you can see they're really right there. Same
Zay
thing for
Flowers?
Kansas City. Same thing for Kansas City. Get that one receiving target consistent, and it can be in the draft or free agency. They get that. Watch out for Baltimore or Kansas City might three-peat. We'll see.
Jared, look, Jared, let me say this. Why are we talking about other teams making moves and the Saints moves that they're making don't move a breadcrumb, let alone the needle?
None.
Doesn't it frustrate you covering the local franchise that they don't make the same impactful splash signings that these other teams? And I don't want to hear, well, it's the cap. It's the cap. You restructured your way down. You can make moves. Mickey done spent money. He does that layaway or whatever that they call that forwarding plan with the credit card. Come on, man. This franchise is hungry to get back to elite status. But you know what? Next year is going to bring for the Saints 4 wins. 4-13. That schedule is murder, murder. And look, am I counting the Giants game as one of them? Nope, nope. Because if the Giants tag this draft right, they gonna beat the Saints next year, and it's at MetLife. It's not here.
Everybody that's joining the show right now, that's with us. If you haven't, click that subscribe button to the YouTube channel, JB the Sports Guy. Click that, everybody. Also, make sure you click like to the Hash It Out Show page on Instagram and on Facebook. I want to ask y'all this because the top running backs, they all are changing teams pretty much. We talked about Derrick Henry, we talked about Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs to the Packers. What are
Aaron
your
Jones
thoughts?
for the Vikings.
Aaron Jones to the Vikings. What are your thoughts? Well, Aaron Jones looking to get revenge because they asked him to take a pay cut. He said no, and that's why he's getting released. So, what are your thoughts about Josh Jacobs to the Packers and Aaron Jones to the Vikings, the rival team?
Josh Jacobs
Josh
takes a lot.
Jacob. Oh, go ahead, VK.
I'm sorry. Takes a lot of
No,
pressure.
you're good.
Yeah, he takes a lot of. I think Josh Jacobs is going to take a lot of pressure off Jordan Love. He's pretty fast himself. He's not just good just getting the handoffs. He's good at pass protection, and he's good at getting the ball on the screens and everything else. So it's going to take a lot of pressure off Jordan Love. And um for the other running back, the question is in Minnesota, who's the quarterback? That's the
JJ
question.
McCarthy.
That's the question. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll do good in Minnesota because he's going to be that guy. He just want to get his money, get his due. I don't really blame him. But is he gonna make a difference for Minnesota? Maybe. We'll see. It depends. But Minnesota is in you could say, rebuilding mode.
You say that, and I can kind of tend to maybe agree, but I want to see what they do with their first pick at 12, at 11. I feel like, I mean, there's been buzz about JJ McCarthy. The Vikings like him,
Yeah,
and I get it, but I'm not sure he's the guy that they need. I think Penix, Michael Penix Jr., is the quarterback that you want if you're Minnesota. But go back to the running back signings. Here's what Josh Jacobs does for Green Bay. You mentioned about helping Jordan Love. The Packers now need to go get a tackle because I think Bakhtiari retired because of the injuries and whatnot. David Bakhtiari, the All Pro. Now they need to find his replacement. Get that, fine tune a little thing here, put a little brush here and there. The Packers were a stone's throw from beating the 49ers in the divisional round last year. They had the 49ers down and they couldn't close. Now you get a Josh Jacobs, guys, that I think goes to a team that he can win with because the Raiders, let's face it, look, I like the fact that they kept Antonio Pierce, but they still got to upgrade talent wise. But Jacobs, I'll give you another signing. And I'm surprised he didn't mention this guy, Jared. Austin Eckler to the Washington Commanders.
yeah, yeah.
Eckler is a touchdown machine, fantasy players. Y'all know.
Oh, I
Y'all
know.
know what we're
I
talking
know.
about. Austin Eckler finds the end zone faster than Fat Man find buffet. Just saying. But Eckler to Washington with your boy, with the other running back that's there. Is it, help me out here. Who's the other back there?
Antonio,
Because he's still, who?
Antonio Gibson.
Is it Gibson? Or I don't think it's just another dude. No, McLaurin's the receiver.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I mean Gibson.
Uh, is it? It might be.
Yeah.
I'm saying now Eckler brings you touchdowns. And they traded Sam Howell to Seattle. I don't know if you saw that. Washington. And oh, look here.
Yes, I bring in the one, the only Colubius. What's going on, Colubius?
Oh, I mean, I'm just here. I'm ready to talk about NFL free agency. Been wanting to talk about this with you for a very long time. Thank you for inviting me. Make sure you subscribe to JB the Sports Guy.
So, what about NFL free agency you want to talk about, Colubius?
I mean, what really is cool is that Kirk Cousins of the Falcons, that's, in my opinion, going to be the biggest shakeup to the NFC.
Do you think it's a positive shakeup or a negative shakeup?
I mean, as a Saints fan, I mean, that's terrible. But like, um, I think it's going to make the NFC South the least most competitive division, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not competitive already. It's still going to be filled with 10-7, 9-8 teams, but now it's just going to be a more competitive race to be at that top spot.
Do you think the Buccaneers will once again win the division?
Yes, I do. I think Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback in that division.
Okay. Y'all got any questions for Colubius, VK, George?
I do.
Go ahead,
We
George.
talk. Colubius, first of all, thank you, man, for joining us, and thank you for the love that you showing for us. We appreciate that very much. Speaking on behalf of my guys right here. Um, Look, as a Giants fan, I was a little disappointed that Saquon Barkley left. What kind of an impact do you think he makes with Philadelphia, and how much closer to Super Bowl contender do you think that puts the Eagles?
As an Eagles fan, unfortunately, no offense to the Giants, but I like the Eagles,
I
right?
got you.
So the Eagles, I think I was really hoping they could make it past the first round of the playoffs. But I mean, the Buccaneers obviously outplayed them last year, but I think with the help of Saquon Barkley, I was really hoping they could keep DeAndre Swift and have that two-headed monster at the running back position. But Saquon Barkley, I think, is going to kill the Giants a ton, and then why are you laughing?
Go ahead. No,
What's so funny?
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You good. You good.
And then, I mean, the Giants don't have a quarterback. I mean, I'm sure they'll try and get one in the draft, but then they have to address the running back problem. They have to address the receiver problem. The Eagles have those three positions figured out. Their defense is okay. I mean, it hurts that they lost Fletcher Cox. It hurts that they lost Jason Kelsey on the offensive line. But otherwise, I think the Eagles can now be a part of that. Actually, I think they will be the top seed in that NFC East division with not Dak Prescott, sorry. Well, I mean, with Dak Prescott possibly facing suspension with the allegations he has against him. And then the Cowboys doing absolutely nothing in free agency so far.
They signed a long snapper. Cowboys fans.
Oh, long
Oh
snapper.
yeah.
A long
That,
snapper, baby.
he is the long
I say
snapper
that
is the
tongue in
most
cheek.
important part of the team.
Sure.
Well, Mr. Colubius, man, appreciate you joining us, man. I wanted to ask you this in a little two-parter here, right quick. Who you think is the biggest winner in free agency, and who is the biggest loser in free agency?
The loser so far for me, I mean, there's a couple of losers, but if there's a team I have to give the losing position to, it's definitely the Minnesota Vikings, losing Kirk Cousins. The only thing they gained was Aaron Jones. And even just going back to last year, they lost Dalvin Cook and they lost major parts of their defense. I mean, but if I were to give it to a single person, the person who has lost the most in free agency is definitely Justin Fields. He has nowhere to go except for the Raiders, and that's just a terrible position to be put in, if you ask me.
I want to know why no one is talking about all of the departures from the Buffalo Bills defense.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Is this
They,
not pop? Yeah, that's insane. I didn't even know. Who did they lose? Who did they lose?
they lost about a good 5 or 6 starters.
Dang, did they lose?
They lost Poyer, the free
Oh
safety.
yeah, I heard about that.
Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious
They
White.
lost Tre'Davious White. Who did he go to?
I don't know.
Nowhere yet.
Nowhere yet. And then I think the corner that took his spot while he was out, they lost him too. So they lost a lot of players. What are your thoughts on what the Saints have done so far in free agency with Willie Gay, Nathan Peterman coming in, and then the Saints hosting
The Super Bowl.
Chase Young tomorrow?
The Saints hosting Chase Young. They're also hosting the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say that. I was trying to finish your sentence. Apparently, I'm not that good at that. Chase Young would be much help needed to the defensive line. We have probably I think the third or second worst in numbers for the defensive line rush. And then, I mean, with an old Cam Jordan, sorry, not Cam Young. And, I mean, Chase Young would help that line increasingly. Otherwise, I don't think anything is very, very significant. I mean, they do need to address a receiver position, but otherwise, I think it's fine.
What about left tackle?
I don't really know. I'm not really.
So,
I haven't paid attention that well
I'm gonna tell
to
you
the
this.
Saints.
You know about Pennington.
Penning.
Penning. I'm sorry, Penning at left tackle. Couldn't block.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Couldn't block anybody. I think.
Yeah.
I think left tackle is a need. I also think free safety is a need.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely quarterback is a need for sure. But
but especially now that they restructured Derek Carr's deal, it gives them more room to trade, more room for stuff like that. Because no one's wanting to take Derek Carr on however huge his contract was last
They
season.
won't be able to take Derek Carr until after this season.
Yes.
Now, I'll get you out of here on this one last question. Who's the best ever, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Okay, this is just such an obvious pick. Sure, I mean, you got LeBron James, 40,000 points, scoring title. You got 4 championships, 4 MVPs. How many defensive players of the year? I forgot.
0.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Anyways, you got Michael Jordan. I think he had 2 defensive player of the year or 3. Which one, sir?
1 for sure.
Maybe it was just 1. Maybe it was just 1. But then, 5 MVPs, 6 titles. I think the only thing LeBron has in his favor is longevity. Michael Jordan's the clear-cut GOAT. There's no other choice.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Colubius, thank you for joining us. It was truly a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to be on the show. Make sure you subscribe to JB the Sports Guy, and make sure you follow the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. That's right. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Make sure everybody subscribes to Colubius, the one and only rapper. Got you, buddy.
Yeah.
See you, Colubius.
Yep.
It's Colubius.
That
He's
was
young.
cool.
Yes, it was cool. He's young. But if you actually sit down and talk sports with him, you sit
He
there and
seems
like
like he's got a
he's
good
very
knowledge, though.
knowledgeable. Yes,
Mhm.
very
I mean,
knowledgeable.
he doesn't have the experience that me and VK do.
No,
I'm
he
just,
doesn't.
No,
Right.
he didn't.
He's only
Very, very.
13,
I'm giving
13,
Jared
14 years
haunted
old.
words. I heard that word was used a lot last week
Oh God.
in Lake Charles. That's
Yeah.
why I brought that up. I was just doing that to pick on the host. But listen, look, the draft is what, more than a month away.
Yes.
We're still just barely into the throes of free agency. But this weekend is March Madness. The tournament brackets come out. Don't know if y'all saw, but a huge upset in the Big East tournament. Providence knocked out Creighton by 6.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
They took them
Yes.
out. And Creighton is a team that I look. I'm doing my research and due diligence. I got a couple of double digits that I'm projected double digits that I'm liking a little bit, and McNeese ain't one of them. Um,
What?
Here's why.
Woo.
What's the one thing you gotta have, guys? Listen, just hear me out.
They beat Michigan.
Pretty
Who?
good too.
They beat
Michigan
Michigan.
that lost
Pretty
24
good
games.
too. Pretty
Okay,
I don't
good
know
too.
how Bobby gave
okay.
Michigan all. That's a big
Let me
team.
defend my stance.
Outlet conference. Go ahead.
Let me
And then
defend my stance.
Yes, sir.
What's the one? Look, McNeese can play a little bit of defense. That's true. But what's the one thing in a close game you got to be able to do? Two things. You got to hit free throws. This is one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country. They shoot at a rate of 60 something percent. It's not good enough to win in the tournament. Defensively, they can do some things. Will Wade, I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to be at McNeese next year. I'm going to tell you fearless prediction time, March 14, 2024. Will Wade, I'm calling it now. I hate what happened to Kenny Payne in Louisville because I think he should have got more time, but he didn't. So if Louisville's going for the splash higher, Will Wade's your guy. Look what he
Okay.
did at McNeese under the specter of what happened in Baton Rouge, 30 wins. But I feel like I'm just the team that I'm going to tell you a double digit seed that I'm looking at is James Madison. I watched those kids play.
Yeah, James Madison's legit.
That
Yeah.
team can go. And that's a team I don't want to play if I'm one of the big Power Five schools. You know, um, and I know we'll talk more about the tournament next week. And look, before anybody says anything, we're not previewing the CBI, the CIT. We're not talking about that. That's the irrelevant tournaments. It's the NCAA tournament or bust. But I tell you what, we engaged in a spirited discussion about the potential women's tournament on our chat. That was a very lively and spirited discussion, and only the three of us. And you know what? If we talk tournament next week, and I'm anticipating that we may, I'm curious to see if thoughts will change when the brackets come out on the women's side. But I saw you guys last night. Restream decided to act a fool with me, so I wasn't able to join you. Restream had the Joe Biden disease. I'm kidding. I say that just tongue in
Leave
cheek.
politics out of this, please.
I
Leave
know we're
politics
keeping
out.
it out. But listen, I listened to what you guys said about what happened with LSU in South Carolina, and myself and Emmanuel had this discussion about that. And there's things and look, I don't want to drag it on, but there's things you do and there's things you don't. Kim Mulkey, I love you. I'm one of your biggest fans, except you didn't shake my hand at the Hilario Center. But that's neither here
Yo,
nor
hold
there.
on to that.
I'm not holding on to it. I'm just saying that to lead to this.
Go ahead.
She shouldn't have put Angel Reese on a pedestal like that. She should not have done it. That was plain. First of all, who on LSU's team could fight Camila Cardoso fair up? No one.
None.
I mean, look, I'm sure they're gritty and everything, but Cardoso's got man. She's a monster. She's 6'8", 240, and legit. And she gonna be in the WNBA and terrorizing people at the WNBA level.
Top five pick.
Huh?
Top five pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
easily,
Yeah.
easily. I mean, Caitlin Clark's gonna go one. Angel Reese will probably go somewhere in the top five too. But
No,
to this,
Angel Reese is not even top 10 right now.
I saw a mock where she was picked sixth.
I saw a mock when she's picked 12th.
Okay, well, okay, nah. All right, I
I
got you.
see Angel Reese back another year at LSU.
I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna do all that. But back to what happened.
Yes, sir.
Tim Mulkey made the technical mistake of saying that. Here's the other point of contention, and Jared, I applaud you for saying this because I'm glad. I don't ever want to violate the FCC, but dude, your man Flange Johnson's brother. There's another word I want to use for him, but I'm not going to use it because we're a family show. What were you thinking? First of all, as a law enforcement official, he's in jail. He stayed in jail Monday. I'm pretty sure by now he's out. But dude, I get protecting your sister, but you go run out there and hit who? I wish Cardoso would have got him. That'd have been funny. Camila Cardoso, I wish she would have punched him. Pow, right in the jaw. Then what? I mean, now you want to run out there. First of all, no man should ever hit a woman, and I'm sorry I'm being domestic. I'm not sorry. Hell no.
No.
No man should ever go on to do what he did. That's not a man. There's another word for that. That's just plain stupid, ignorant, irresponsible, dumb. But my biggest round of applause, and I'm pretty much going to fall in line with every other national media member and whatnot, Dawn Staley. How about the class she showed, staying above the fray and apologizing? God bless you. God bless you. And that's why Dawn Staley's one of my favorite coaches ever, ever. And will South Carolina win a tournament? Nah, that's another story. I know somebody here thinks Iowa can be in the final. Not me.
Not me.
I mean, but we'll talk that next week. But that's all good. But I just wanted to air my thoughts on what happened Sunday and whatnot. But let's just hope that this is not a carryover. You know what I'm saying? When we get to the tournament, let this not be the story. Let the talent and let the teams, let the emergences of some of these Pac 12 teams that have been gold this year. Juju Watkins, for you people on the East Coast and the South, y'all don't know about her. Y'all better go find a videotape fast. That young lady that young lady's a star. And SC is going to make major, major, major noise
Oh,
in this tournament.
SC is back on the map when it
Yes,
comes to
sir.
basketball because of
Yes, sir.
Juju
And there were people talking about this girl like she's Cheryl Miller. I'm like, whoa, hold up. I saw Cheryl Miller
Juju
play.
Juju is really good. USC might make some moves this year. I don't know how deep they're gonna go. We've seen some lapses this
Elite
season with
Eight,
them. Remember, they're very, very young. They're going to be very good years to come. But
right?
I've seen some games that they had some bad losses, and it makes me afraid. I don't know if they're gonna be cracking no Final Four. Like I
They're playing
said,
the right way,
they
BK.
have,
They blew out Stanford. They blew
yeah,
out Stanford.
but you're talking about what's going on now. We've seen some lapses. Like I tell you, when I see chinks in the armor, something's up. I like consistency, and young teams sometimes are going to do that. I
Hater.
think USC. I'm not no hater. I like Juju my damn self, but at the same time, I'm playing devil's advocate. You
Oh,
know,
we know.
like you
Do
talking
we
about
know?
you talking about McNeese. McNeese to me going to Sweet 16.
No, they won't.
Look how wide open this season's been. Duke lost
Okay,
to
wait.
NC
All right.
State
I'll
tonight.
put this matchup in front
Wide
of both
open.
of you.
Okay.
McNeese is a 13, right? That's what they're projected. Let's say Kentucky gets them as a 4. You like their chances? I don't.
Yes, I like
No.
their chances because
No. Kentucky will run them out the gym.
Kentucky's been the most up and down team all
It's
year. Are you
March. It's
serious?
March, brother. It's
So where's
March.
March? Just see what
Oh,
Kentucky did last year in the tournament,
yeah,
dude.
St. Peter's
Just
knocked them
watch
out. That was 2 years ago, by the way. It wasn't last year.
No,
No, it
it
was
was two
last year.
years
No, it
ago.
wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago.
Well, 2 years ago, regardless, Kentucky ain't Kentucky. That's what I'm freaking
Okay.
telling you. All I'm gonna tell you is this: it's like I said, Duke lost to NC State tonight.
That
NC
I
happens.
know.
State has
That
been up
happens.
and freaking down. Come on, bro.
I mean,
Anybody, I'm
Anthony
telling you
Davis and
now.
them didn't win the SEC tournament, but won a national championship.
Who's that?
Anthony Davis, when he was at Kentucky, they didn't win
No, it
the SEC
didn't.
championship,
They
but
won
they
the
won
SEC
the
championship.
NCAA
They didn't win a
tournament.
big one.
But they
That
won the
was a
Natty, though.
That's right. LSU girls didn't win the SEC championship last year, but they won the
but
national
that was a
championship.
better Kentucky team, Jared. Come on, bro.
No,
Kentucky,
I'm not saying
yeah,
they wasn't better. I'm just saying in regards to
I
pushing
get it.
it, sometimes that can happen, and then these teams get to the tournament and go in and win it. That's all I'm saying.
I
That's all I'm
know,
saying.
but that's no. I get what you're saying, but I'm sorry. This team is not close to that Kentucky team. It's not close.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. That's not
No.
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
no, I see.
I'm not
No,
comparing the teams of how they were. I know
right,
that. That's the
right,
only Kentucky team that's won for Calipari. I'm just saying. I'm
yeah.
just saying we've seen teams that
Right.
get into the conference tournament and don't win, and then go on to win a national championship. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't comparing the two teams.
And let me add to this about McNeese. I just have my reservations, but and what have I told you guys? I'm all about all the universities, all the Louisiana schools doing well. I'm about that. Uh, about Louisiana schools doing well, like McNeese. Louisiana Tech's got a really nice squad. The SWAC has Grambling and Southern, who have been solid this year. I don't have the latest. You know what? I'm actually look
You
this
know,
up right now.
Grambling won last night. I know that much.
That's the quarterfinal or semi.
Yeah, they won last night. I was told that through text. I don't know about today, but Grambling did win last night. Everybody who's watching, please click that subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, what I can see a lot of y'all are watching on Twitter, go to JB the Sports Guy on YouTube. Click that subscribe button. You get a lot more content there. You got the real VK Jones on YouTube. Also, you can go to. You got the Hash It Out Show on Facebook and Instagram. You have the real VK Jones on Instagram. You got George Peppis on Instagram.
I can tell you right now, Grambling is not playing tonight. They're going to wait for the. They're going to be in the semifinal tomorrow. Southern is playing tonight. They're playing Bethune, and they're 2020 in the first half.
Cool, cool deal. Well,
So I'd like for both of them to make the final.
that'd be great. That'd
Yep.
be great. Well, fellas, we're gonna call this show, bring this show to a wrap. I should say we're gonna be back next week. Gonna try to get y'all some more guests. We have a couple guests in mind that we want to get who won state championships also. So that's our goal to get them. And I got something else in mind too from some other guests. If we can get them, I'm gonna try to work some magic and see what I can do if I can get these two other guests on the show next week. I think that'd be great. But we'll be back next Tuesday and next Wednesday, and we're gonna start getting ready for baseball season as well because that is taking off right now. VK Jones, any last words?
Man, and this was a good show tonight, man. It's we 3 nights of good shows here
Yes.
and everything, and we'll continue to thrive. We'll continue to grow with our numbers, continue to support us and everything. We're gonna talk NCAA tournament stuff next week too, as well. So get ready for that. I think Jared, I think this is something you might have to think about. Do you want to do it? Uh, Maybe a bracket challenge for the Hash It Out show if you want to do it.
So you could finish last. Oh
We
wow.
might do that.
No, we're not talking about for the three of us. We talking about three
No,
of
I
us
know
and
a lot of
everybody.
people. Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
yeah, do
Well,
the whole
yeah.
let's
thing.
extend the open invite. Look. Let me add to it, VK. I mean, if you're not done, I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Oh yeah, I was saying it's good to be back. I've been going back and forth, running, working. You know what I'm saying? I got some other things going on tomorrow. Not gonna really say it, but it's very important. So pray for your boy. But
You got
Hash It
that.
Out show is about to do bigger and better things. We got some things coming, brother. We got some things coming.
George Peppis.
Considering that year two of the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week is forthcoming before you know it, right? We'll have a schedule set for you. We'll have sponsors, of course, as always. And who knows? I mean, there's some other things that could be in the fire too, as well. But you know what? We take it one day at a time. And we can't talk about the NCAA tournament. Look, we invite all of our fans that watch us here on the Hash It Out Show to go onto the hashitoutshow.com. There you go, Colubius. Outstanding. 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 Yeah, boy. That's you're speaking for all of us right there, bro. All of us. We're praying for you, BK, and whatever. Let God's healing and God's word guide you. Um, the tournament itself, we invite all of our fans to fill out a bracket. We made this. I like BK's idea a lot. Let's make this happen, and we'll pick a bracket ourselves, and uh, and we'll see which one of us has egg on their face when it's over. It won't be me. I done did my studying. My experience is gonna matter. I'm sorry, Jared. I just can't help it because like you told me the story about the experience word being used about what 60 times last week.
Nah, 600.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay, but no. On this note, there's a lot of basketball. between now and Sunday. And then when the brackets come out, y'all do y'all thing. And for those of you that keep trying to play that perfect bracket challenge where you could win 100 million, or what is it, 10 million, cut it out. Cut it out. You're not going to pick a perfect bracket. Nobody in the history of the NCAA tournament has ever picked a perfect bracket. Stop the madness. But for whatever you do this weekend, wherever you may be, it is St. Patrick's Day this weekend, and you know that New Orleans has got that Irish parade, St. Patty's Day parade. If you plan to go to that, please be careful out there and don't do nothing stupid.
Stay inside.
Thank you.
I ain't
There you go, VK.
All right. So yeah, the bracket is cool. Ask a lot of people that we know, some head coaches like Coach Eric Randolph and Micah Higgins, Brandon Russ, Coach Danny Broussard. They all want to join. Yeah, let's ask around.
And it's all in fun. It doesn't
That's
have to be
it.
a contest. It's all in
Right.
fun.
That's it. Ask around and see who want to join, and any of these fans if I want to join, just let me know. So, but anyway, guys. That's Colubius. That is exactly wrong. There was a young guy many years ago who got to the Elite Eight with a perfect bracket, and then that's when it shattered. He was on ESPN. He got to the Elite Eight with a perfect bracket, and he probably was your age at the time. He was young, and Elite Eight, and poof, there it went. So somebody's got it close, but no one ever has had it. Yeah, I'm serious. Really, Colubius. I am serious. Someone got to the Elite Eight with a perfect bracket. Yes.
And that was with St. Peter's getting there.
Yes.
If I remember right.
Yes.
That dude, how that guy picked the Peacocks to get to the Elite Eight as a 15. Brazen.
That was, yeah, he had a perfect bracket to the Elite Eight.
Yep. And like 5 of his teams lost or something like that.
Yeah. He got hit hard in the Elite Eight. He got hit hard.
Yeah.
But
like a bad stock market.
Yeah. But that's a wrap for us today. We'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday, hopefully with some guests. That's the plan. But for VK Jones and for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. We'll see you next week right here on the Hash It Out Show. Y'all take care.
My name is Micah Higgins, head boys basketball coach at Bonneville High, and you're watching the Hash It Out Show. Go Bruins.
Thank you for watching the Hash